Hello everybody and welcome back to more holiday sports here. Merry Christmas everyone. Hopefully you're having a great holiday with friends, family, maybe just hanging out by yourself, just relaxing, taking the day, kicking back, hanging out. Thanks for spending part of your day with me. We're going to play some, I'm going to watch some collegiate athletes known as mascots play some basketball here in just a moment. This is Apple Pie Cup number 8. That's right, 8 fingers for the number of Apple Pie Cups that we have had. Huskies, they hold a big lead, 5-2 in the all-time series. They demolished in football. They won by 4 in basketball last year after crushing in football last year. Cougars, I don't think we've ever seen win on the hardwood in an actual tournament or like games that mean something setting. We had a hype tournament one time. I think they had like 4 teams in it or something like that. They won that, I think. I don't remember. But they have not beaten the Huskies, I don't think, ever on the hardwood in these. March Mascot Madness, September Mascot Madness, the Apple Pie Cups, nothing. Cougars need to run off 3 wins in a row to even this series back up. That would take us through 2023's Christmas, because that's when these videos post. Football, that's on Thanksgiving. That's a Thanksgiving holiday tradition thing. They always put the Lions on for some reason. We always have to watch the stupid Dallas Cowboys. Ugh. And then they give you an interesting matchup in the evening when everyone's stomping over each other for sales on television. So there you have it. What we do is we do football on Thanksgiving. Basketball, that's a Christmas thing. 5 games, ESPN, ABC, all that stuff. We do a little basketball ourselves here. So if you like that, be sure to scroll down, subscribe, ring that bell. That way you're notified when I post new videos. I don't really know what's happening on the channel right now. I'm recording these way early, just so that they're kind of done, because I don't really have a better spot to put them, and I couldn't find my notebook, and it's a whole mess. We are in NCAA March Madness 2005, which you might recognize as the very first March Mascot Madness tournament game. The NCAA March Madness games have mascots in them from 2004 to 2009, but 2004 is kind of weird. 2008 and 2009 are weird as well, with a couple of the omissions. Like Oregon, I don't think is in 2009, so they are shorted a tournament. Either way, we're in 05 this year because I think we played 04 last year. I think we'll just kind of work our way through all of them as we move along. So let's go ahead and do that. Jump in. There's no menu music because like an Elvis Presley song played, and I was like, I can't risk it. We're doing All-American. We're doing 20-minute halves. Hopefully the camera angle is all right, and we'll see what we get here today. Thanks so much for watching, hanging out. I appreciate it. We're gonna have a good time commentating some games. I did not see a place to give them like user or like generated names, so like actual names. So I think we'll just be working with numbers. I hope that it displays on the court. Tried to look through some of the options. These options are not great, but whatever. And again, we don't get a great thumbnail. So here we go. Crowd noise is pumping. Washington starts with the first possession of the game. Point guard number 2. He's outside. Rolling into the middle, off the rim and in. Huskies up 2-0. I enjoy doing these. Hopefully people enjoy watching them. Even if they don't, I'm still going to put them up because I think that they are just fun, silly videos to put up. I believe Christmas is a Sunday this year, which is good news. There's a 3 from the Cougars while I'm checking what day this is. It is a Sunday, okay. Next year, okay. The first of 2023 is on a Sunday. Interesting. The Huskies respond back with a wide open 3. And we're off to a fiery start. 5-3 Washington. Football game took a couple hours. These usually only take about an hour. Shooting guard number 11. Oh, he had a wide open look, but it's just off the back rim. A little too strong. I don't remember the camera angle being this good in this game. Maybe I had it the wrong way the whole time. I'm surprised that number 5 did not take that. Back out to number 2. Inside to 15. 15 with a little spin move. Oh, we remember this. Tipped by the defensive Cougar there. Drive it into the middle. Double team. It's going to be a foul. Power forward number 5 picking up foul number 1. Mercifully, this game does not have a band. The other game that we used, NCAA Football 11, after a debacle with that whole scenario, that had crowd audio that also controlled how loud the music was. Thankfully, this one just lets you use the crowd noise as loud as you want. It was a nice find. Number 11 for three. It's good. They cut the lead down to 1. The Cougars are going threes or bust. 7-6. 18-20 to go here. Oh, my camera's just out of the way. So that is good news. Playing on the PlayStation 2. The Xbox version would probably be the better one because as we see in Demolicious, those usually fill out the screen a lot better, but whatever. I didn't even think about it when I bought it. 9-6, Washington after the putback, taking the lead. Oh, they got that play, the baseline play from the corner. It's good, 9-9. ...2005. I believe that was the first one I used. I think I've used 05, 09, 06, and 07, something like that. Nice rejection by the Cougars. But we'll see that baseline play be very effective throughout this game. Steal and a layup for the Cougars. That'll give Washington State the lead back at 11-9. I was going to say the first lead of the game, but I do forget they led 3-2. Hand up, offensive rebound, putback jam for the Huskies. The Cougars are giving up too much offensive glass there. Huskies switching between a full court press and just a regular half court defense. Bounce pass inside. You got to kick that out to the corner. Number 11, he's on fire and he keeps it going with another three. The Cougars have 4 made threes in these first 3 minutes. And the only 2 they've even really attempted was the layup off the turnover. Huskies with a 3 of their own. That one misses. Around the outside, bounce pass inside, center number 44, bounce passes back outside. There's another 3 going up, nothing doing for the Cougars on that one. Huskies come away with a defensive rebound. It is tipped off the hands of a Cougar defender. It'll be out of bounds. Washington ball, 25 seconds on the shot clock. We do see some lockups here and there for better or worse, honestly. Hands up, double team. Forward, looking for some room. Holding the ball for a really long time. Let that shot clock go low. Comes away empty-handed. Whips it to the left side. Inside, quick 2 passes. That's effective. 10-2 scoring run here for the Cougars. They find themselves up 16-11. One-on-one inside, trying to use some moves here. That's going to be rejected, but the center does get the ball back for the Huskies. Tries to drive inside toward that baseline. Could see the baseline bandit. Usually, actually, more that's more what we see as it gets hung up there. Huskies trying to drive inside, kicks back out. He's going to have to jack up a 3. It's up. It's no good. It is almost tipped back in, but the Cougars come away with a rebound. 5-point lead, 5 minutes gone here in half number 1. Bounce pass inside. You got to kick that ball out. You got a wide open man in the corner. Doesn't really matter if he's a 3-point threat or not. Huskies lucky to not get a backward violation there. And Hard's got to get that ball up a little bit quicker. Had a great look at it. Cougar defender closed in nicely, forces the miss. 2 quick passes inside off the glass and good. The Cougars off to a fantastic start here, 18-11. shot for the Huskies. It is no good. Wasn't sure if it was going to be a 2 or a 3. We're going to get a little reach in here. Almost a stolen ball, but nothing doing there. Kicks over to the right. Floats into the middle. It's tipped in. Picked. Turnover by the Cougars. Offense been so clean offensively so far. Bounce pass inside to number 5. Into a bit of a double team. It's a nice move to get toward the baseline, free himself up there. Maybe not so much a nice move as he just kind of ran past him. Another bounce pass inside into a double team. There's a nice feed into the interior, and that's off the glass and good. Oh, that is the play right there. There it is. Go back and look at it. You'll see the number that number 5 running by the baseline. The defender gets caught up in the traffic, wide open. That is an effective play, especially in this game. It's a little bit worse in some of the other games. The defenses do a better job at rotating or just making sure there's a defender in the area, or the players maybe just run through it better. But in NCAA 05, it is a very effective play. Typically, we see it run toward the high part of the three-point line, but it's working from the corners so far for both teams in this one. They love the two quick passes. He's feeling so good, he's going to try it. Even double team, that's a shot you got to put back if you're a Cougar. Screen. Float pass to guard number 2. Kicks it to number 15 into a double team. That is going to be a 2-shot foul from the line. Forced the miss, so it's a pretty okay foul. Short on the first. And good on the second. 3-point lead for the Cougars. The Huskies switch to a full court defense. Fires it up near the midcourt line. Kind of a dangerous pass right there in the corner. Could be an over and back. Number 11 for 3. It's rattles around and good. Thought it might have been a little bit too strong out of the hand, but gets the friendly home roll. It's a 6-point game, 23-17. There it is, small forward number 3. He's wide open on that play. It's a beautifully run play. Washington State 5 for 8. And there, Washington, I believe, 3 for 9. 2 quick passes inside. Super effective in this game. The field goals, though, 10 for 16 for the Cougars. That gives them a 5-point lead. Working very efficiently through this first half, both from a clock time running perspective and from a shot percentage perspective. Oh man, made that Husky fall over. All the Cougars are feeling it, but that was a brick. Defender right in his face. Huskies get a little bit of separation, cut the lead down to 3. Cougars have done a good job of getting through the Huskies' full court press. And that jump step, that shot is short, excuse me. Kicks left, 2 quick passes inside. It's going to be no good, but offensively rebounded. Going to be a hard foul here. 2 shots coming in for the Huskies. Shot is up, shot is good. And it's good again. 25-24, 10:34 to go here in the first half. Cougars now have to contend with full court defense, which we see Louisville be just so effective with. This is where the game probably should be a little bit more aggressive. They have a wide open Cougar down in the paint. That's a bad pass across the court. Oh, that's a shooting foul right there. Second personal. Off the rim, no good. Ty is on the line here. And there it is. All knotted up at 25. And again, the Huskies force the full court. There is why it's so effective. Just ask Louisville, an 18-time defending champion at this point. What's interesting is that the Huskies kind of back out of it. They got what they wanted, and they just kind of, probably not their strong suit, but at least try and force the Cougars to do something. To do something dumb, they do. They force the turnover, they get the points, and Washington State looks a little confused. They're cold from the floor, and they're down by 2. 2 quick passes inside, another foul. 2 shots coming from the line for the Huskies. For some reason, thought I was wearing a hoodie, was going to grab the strings. There are no strings on this. Thankfully for the Huskies, or thankfully for the Cougars, the Huskies have been brick city from the line. Making only half, maybe a little over half of their free throws. There's a great opportunity to try to kick it low into the paint. It's a one-on-one. Looks like he has good positioning. Terrific defense there by Washington to force the miss on what was a pretty good offensive run at the basket. Almost a putback by the Huskies, but good defense by the Cougars, trying to keep this a one-possession game. They were so effective from 3 early. It's been kind of it's been such a drop-off. They're not having much success inside. There's a jam home for the Huskies, and Cougars went on that 10-2 run. It was looking good, but the Washington Huskies have been storming back over the last couple of minutes. They have a 5-point lead, 30-25. That was a nice shot to break the run, 30-27. This just kind of feels like the Cougars playing the Huskies. Don't watch a lot of the basketball games, but Washington State gives you a hope that they might pull out a victory, and then Washington gets their stuff together and puts on a nice run, and the Cougars are not always great about recovering. Again, giving up the offensive rebound. They're giving up so many offensive rebounds on these 3-point attempts, and Washington, to their credit, doing a terrific job of putting them back. Turnover inside gives Washington possession with a 32-27 lead. We're a little over halfway through half number 1. I wonder how much of an effect it has had. The Cougars did sub out one of their players with a couple of fouls. And I'd be curious to go back and look at that and see what the run has been since that player was removed from the game due to the foul trouble. It's a nice defensive stand there. 34-27 our score. Kick over to point guard number 12. And it might have actually been number 11, who was so hot from the 3-point range. I was a little confused about what was going to happen there. It's a missed shot, but a nice putback to put some points on the board, 36-29. Obviously, the Cougars with plenty of time to make a run here. Can't fall too far behind. Huskies can take a very controlling 6-2 lead with a victory here. We see this a bit. Thankfully, it is written into the code to just have them shoot it with about 3 seconds left. You'd hate to see turnovers on that sort of play. Bounce pass inside ends up stolen by the Cougars. At what point do you put your player in that came out with foul trouble? Because it seems like that's kind of been the turning point. Bounce pass inside. I'm going to call another defensive foul. We might see a substitution here. 16 fouls. Next team foul for Washington State will put the Huskies on the line for a 1-and-1. Nice steal there. Nice block, and they almost got possession of the ball back. This game is rather quickly getting out of hand. Remember, the Cougars actually led this, and they led the other game as well. An 11-point deficit. Number 11 is in. It's just the Cougars have seemed to change their entire offensive philosophy. Such a hot start. A couple of bounces, but nothing doing that time. 5 minutes to go here. First half. 11-point deficit. 11 points, I should say, separate the Cougars and the Huskies. And the Huskies have an opportunity at a 3-point play as we are inside the body of one of those mascots. 42-29 now. Opportunity to make it 14. They can't do it. Washington really bad from the free throw line today. That was almost a backcourt violation. Drove into 2 defenders, gets blocked. It's going to be a 2-on-1. That's a jam home, and this game is out of hand. Nice tip in there to get cut it down to 13. 44-31. The Cougars have gone ice cold from the field. Not only have they gone ice cold from the field, but it's been poor decision making. Yeah, the Huskies have obviously looked great. The 2 quick passes inside is super effective in this game. Having commentated, 64 games in it, plus a few extras here and there. Kind of start to see what it is that works in this game, and it's the 2 quick passes inside, and it's running the 3-point shooter down by the baseline and getting them free. The Cougars have gotten away from that second play. That was so effective and so helpful early on for them that it's a little surprising to see them get so far away from it. And they might need to kick it into high gear. It is quickly getting out of hand. Their defense is consistently out of position. Their offense is making terrible shot selections like that, like that as well, into double teams, just willingly throwing the ball up there. That's a good offensive rebound. Way to at least draw the foul. Get a couple of shots from the line. Offensive rebound for the Huskies, another defensive foul for the Cougars. 18 fouls so far this half. Number 45 is going to come in for number 34. 17 points separate these 2 teams. 2 quick passes inside. Stripped away and almost a turnover, but slid out of bounds. Through the double team, cuts the lead down to 15, 50-35. 3 minutes to go here, first half. Obviously, the Cougars have a lot of time to catch back up. try and make this interesting. There's a nice turnover right there. But right now it is all Huskies. Two quick passes inside, but he couldn't get it off the right iron and out. Washington kicks to the corner. Not sure if that was a 3 or a 2. Doesn't really matter if it's a miss. So Cougars come away with the ball. There's a foul. Third team foul for the Huskies. Cougars with a nice make there from the line. Got to take advantage of these free point opportunities. Off the right iron, no good. WSU not shooting very well from the line, just like their Husky brethren from across the state. Two quick passes inside, wide open off the glass and in. Look at how out of position those two defensive players are. Ugh. Right in the corner. Two defenders. Look like he let it go a little bit late, but still gets the nylon. 52-38 with under 2 to go here in the first half. Whew. That go off a Cougar. My goodness. Everything bouncing in the way of the Huskies here. 54 first half points. That makes sense. We usually see out of bounds Washington State ball. We usually see 30 being about the high side of things in March or September. Mascot Madness. I almost tipped a nearly full drink on my desk. Fortunately, I caught it like a pro. So I guess that, doubled up, that makes sense. Does make the Cougars' offensive struggles a little, put that into a little more perspective, considering that 38's like probably the record for most points we've seen in a 10-minute half. That's some good defense there. Cougars on a fast break. A lot of those opportunities, and they totally blow it at the rim. Those are the kind of plays you have to make. We saw something similar in the football Apple Pie Cup this year, where the Huskies did such a good job of taking advantage of the Cougars' mistakes, being opportunistic, getting turnovers or getting takeaways, and cashing those in for points. The Cougars are not doing a good job of that in this game. They did a terrible job of it in the football game, and we see the baseline bandit for the first time this game, under 30 seconds to go. Bounce pass back outside. Defender right in the face, and it's still good. Kick it back outside. Number 11 at the buzzer. He'll get some extra points on the board for the Cougars. But the last 10 minutes of that first half were all Huskies. 15-point lead as we enter half number 2. 57-42. Nice bounce pass inside. Terrific play design right there. Got the Huskies defense out of position there, and easy too. That's a good roll for the Cougars right there. They got 5 points. They've cut it down to 12. It was 17. 3 right before the half. 2 coming right out of the half. Oh man, a big whiff on a steal there, and that gives the Huskies an easy mid-range jumper to push the lead back out to 15. I guess maybe it was 18 points. Huskies called for a foul on the shot. 2 coming from the line. First one is good. Off the right iron, no good. Looked like they were going for an alley-oop or maybe just a bad pass. Either way, it was a loud thud off the back of the iron. Turns into a fast break opportunity for the Cougars. Bounce pass into number 5. Thought maybe he was going to go to the corner for the kind of open 3 type of play. There's a nice turnover. Or a nice takeaway, I should say. Trying to drive inside. Finds a good switch on the defense there for the Huskies. At least he threw it away. I know that's like, oh my goodness, Washington State with 14 first half turnovers. That's pretty bad. Oh gosh, through the double team. 22 first half points. He has 24 of the 49, so he is right about 50% of the points, 50 or 48% or whatever it is. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, never mind. That's not surprising. Never mind. I mean, it was a little surprising the way that worked. Trying to get the turnover on the inbound pass. 22 points for power forward number 15. What I'm curious about is, are we going to just see one of those games? We saw them a lot in the mascot tournaments, where a team has a lead like this. You see the 61 to 50. You see the 61-49, whatever. 10 to 12 point lead, and that's just kind of where it stays. Maybe the Cougars make a run, cut it to 6, but then the Washington Huskies respond, push it back out to 12. We see those pretty frequently in these kinds of games where a team has what feels like should be a surmountable lead, but the other team just doesn't make enough plays to do it. And even if they can get close, 2 points, 4 points, they just can't sustain the momentum and keep themselves competitive in the game. So we'll see how that plays out over the second half. 8-point game after the turnover, 61-53. Foul inside. Short on the free throw. One for 2 on the free throws. Huskies will switch into. They like doing this after the free throws. The full court press here. It's not quite as effective as Louisville's. Louisville, I mean, really commits to it to like an annoying degree. I believe that was just a 2-point shot. Either way, it's a 7-point game, 62-55. Cougars with a great start to the second half, doing a good job of taking advantage of turnovers, turning those into points. It's a little loose ball out of bounds. It'll be Huskies basketball. Still a nice defensive play. Number 2 trying to drive inside. Point forward, number 15. He's got all kinds of points, so you can't leave him that open. A little surprised he didn't pull the trigger right there. There's a beautiful bounce pass inside. That is fantastic. Again, 2 Cougar defenders well out of position. That's easy. Trying to free up number 11. He'll kick to number 12. Back to number 11. Pass inside number 12. Over a couple of defenders, finds the nylon. Knocks it back down to a 7-point game. Cougars don't necessarily have to match shot for shot, but might be able to chip away at this lead here. Obviously plenty of time. That's not a factor yet. Oh, beautiful bounce for the Huskies. Pushes the lead back out to 9. kind of shot you want to see. Fading to his left. Defenders right there. Jump step inside, finds the glass. That's an easy 2. Washington taking over in the field goals made. I mean, the Cougars got off to such a hot start in this game. Just ran out of bounds. He just ran out of bounds. Start to wonder as Washington State starts to make some mistakes. Was that their best run? Was 7 points as close as we'll see the game the rest of the way? That's a great deflection into a turnover. Not quite a fast break. Great defensive recovery by the Huskies there. I need to move this soda can out of the way before I knock it all over the very expensive things on my table. And we have a 3-point shot from the Cougars for the first time in what feels like forever. They're 7 of 14, 50% from beyond the arc. Cuts it down to an 8-point game. 14:25 to go. It's one of those kind of circus shots. Those don't usually go in, but every once in a while they do. Behind the back. Oh, 2 quick passes inside, but he got jarred loose. A little fast break opportunity, you know. Good job by the Cougars defense to get back. Oh my goodness. They are so effective. I don't know if it's that it's the Huskies are just putting themselves in such good positions, or the Cougars are not making smart decisions down below. That's going to be a foul. Just kidding. It's out of bounds. Cougars have made it close twice, and then every time they get near that 7-8 point deficit, they go, no, we don't want this. This is too scary. We'd like to have our butts kicked thoroughly, please. There's a beautiful stroke from beyond the arc. Get the ball in number 11's hands and let him do what he does best, and that is make beautiful threes. Ooh, left a wide open Husky player right there to push the lead right back out to 10. Circus shot inside. He had a wide open player beyond the arc. A lot of those decisions we've seen the Cougars make, taking on 2 defenders, trying to get these prayers answered every single time they're down the floor. Instead, they're not going down, and the Huskies are doing so well. They're so hot. They're able to make threes with players in their face. There's a hook shot blocked by Washington. Starting to get a little out of hand here for the Cougars, and they're going to need a couple of good possessions here. Cougars have led, but they've also been down by as many as 18, 17, 18, something like that. Not a great shot selection there. Kind of doubly bad off the turnover. Defensive foul on that shot there. 3rd team foul for Washington here in the second half. First shot is up and good. And the Cougars go 2 for 2 from the line. 11-point game. That sounded heavy off the iron. It was a miss. Washington State cut it down to single digits here. Hook shot, that one again. There's a defender right there. It's not a good shot. Attempted a putback, and that is just not going well for Cougars. Nice block there, but the Huskies come away with the ball. They'll get a second shot, but nothing doing. The Huskies have done such a good job with those putbacks, second chance opportunities, stealing the ball away. The Cougars, it feels like they have these opportunities to cut this down to 9 to 7 maybe, and the Huskies are doing such a good job defensively. Easy, I don't know where that Cougar is going. I mean, he's going to make the shot. I'll get back on defense. Lead up to 13. Great rotation by the Huskies. Forces the miss. Cougars get an offensive rebound. It's going to be a defensive foul. Those are the hardest to call for me personally because everything is blocked down there. And sometimes it's out of bounds. And it's just a mess. So let the whistle go and read the top corner, then go for it. 1 for 2 from the free throw line as we approach about the halfway point of the second half. Cougars need to get this down to 1 or 2 possessions in the next 3 or 4 minutes. They're not going to get the circus shot to go down, but it will be a foul. Huskies not great from the line today. So a 14-point game as we have 10 and a half. Ooh, a double team, terrible shot, just nothing but air. Feeling it from beyond the arc. 17-point lead. It was right about the same point in the half, it felt like, where it's just the Cougars started to fall apart. The Huskies were playing really well. The Cougars have gotten away from what they do. They've done well in this game offensively. That is get that Cougar the ball, number 11. Let him shoot some threes. Huskies looking for a dagger there, but they can't quite find it. That's inside. 3-point play here for the Cougars coming up. That is a severe mismatch in favor of the Huskies, but somehow finds the net to make this a 12-point game. Another substitution for the Cougars. Bury a 3. And again, the Cougars defender is right there. They're not these wide open shots. They're not, broken plays or anything. It's just, they're just feeling it. There's the 2 quick passes, or the bounce pass inside, I should say. Defensive foul on the Cougars. And the Huskies will go to the line to shoot 2. Off the iron, no good. Terrible shot right there. Mercifully, it was off the hands of the Huskies last. There's a three. It's off the iron. No good. There's the difference. Or one of the differences in this game. The Huskies have been making those shots with defenders right there. Cougars, that one's off the iron. 87-73, a nice block inside. Washington out rebounding the Cougars. Not really surprising. Going to be a three-point play. A little hard to tell, but hopefully we'll get a better answer on the... Just kidding. No, we're not going to get a better answer on the replay. Offensive rebound, and they're going to go to the line to shoot two. And they did get the... They did get the two-pointer, because you could see that everybody collapsed on the rebound. So 3 points, maybe the most ridiculous way. A three-point opportunity with a miss. Wow, that's the most open shot the Huskies have had from three in a while, and they miss it. The putback is good, though. 89-76. It's off the rim, no good. Just cold Cougars shooting from the free throw line. Or from the, I guess, everywhere. There's a nice steal. Oh, we had a guy on the left side. What are you doing? Wow, the Huskies, the last 2 threes that they have tried to make have been wide open and they can't hit them, but the shots with defenders right in their face, those are going down. Weird. That is in triple coverage. I don't know what you're doing. Bounce pass inside. Number 5 works his way to the corner with a bounce pass into number 15. He bounce passes it back out to number 3. Trying to find some room into 3 defenders there. We saw that just not work out for the Cougars. We're maybe going to get a 10-second violation if they don't, thankfully. That did not look good. It's a nice tip in to get them closer here. 5:47 to go in the second half. Cougars are down 11. This is where you start to look at, look, we want to get the ball. That's a beautiful block at the three-point line for the Cougars. You got to start looking at it as you're running out of time, obviously. Clock always moving here on the basketball court. But you got to start figuring out, where do you want to be at the X minute mark? 91-78. I mean, because ideally by about the 2-minute mark, it's a 4-point game. 2-possession game at max. Maybe a 5-point deficit, but ideally you want the easy 2s. There's a nice shot right there to make it 11. So you got to cut 7 points off this deficit over the next couple of minutes. You need 2-3 good defensive possessions. I mean, that's just a better shot. Got a hand up, you're right there. Maybe a little too much space, but offensive rebound, that's going to get blocked. Better offensive decision making would also be helpful. I know that's like a foreign concept to this Cougars offense, but get the offensive rebound. See if you can find a teammate, get a kick out, do something. You have an electric 3-point shooter on your team. And you're just letting the Huskies kind of double team you to death. A little deeper than the foul line is good. Lead down to 11. Does seem like we have one of those games there. The lead ballooned out to about 17. It was as low as 7. The Cougars did lead in the first half. They just haven't really made much of a run inside that 6-7 point deficit. Terrible turnover times, not taking advantage of some of the opportunities they've had offensively with like fast breaks, really poor decision making. There's another block shot. That's 2 block shots. The first one went out of bounds. They got lucky to get another shot at it. The Huskies blocked it again. That's just too easy. There are 2 Cougars out of position there. Well, I guess one majorly, but the other guy just couldn't get there in time. He had to kind of pick his poison there. Even there, I mean, the plays that are effective for the Huskies are just not working for the Cougars. Huskies are taking over here in the final few minutes. They're going to take a commanding lead in this series. 6-2 over the first 8 games of it. That sounds about right. Maybe we should try and figure out which exactly is the best one of these games and then go with some sliders to make it more of a kind of coin flip sort of thing. Because I know that while I know that the football is like everybody's A+ over that, I don't know 100% for sure in this one. I assume it is. There aren't any like ratings or anything. I don't see why it wouldn't be just 99s overall or whatever. But whew. 101-82. The Cougars are getting blown out. 19 points, largest deficit that they have faced in this game, and they are completely crumbling. 21 now that it's 103 to 82. They only have 10 second chance points, which is surprising. I feel like that number should be higher. The Cougars cannot do a single thing right in this game. Seven turnovers for the Cougars in this game. 23-point deficit. In both games this year, we see the Cougars crumble in the back halves of these games. It was close. I mean, the game kind of fell apart a little earlier for the Cougars in this one, but they did make a better effort, more valiant effort to get back into this one, closing it to as little as 7 points, or as few as 7 points. Dominant, like basically fourth quarter for these Huskies, and they will run out the clock here. They'll run their record to 6-2 through these 8 games of the Apple Pie Cup. Every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, you can catch a mascot game between the Cougars and the Huskies, where I just watch my beloved Washington State Cougars get their butts kicked. Where were those earlier? The final seconds tick down, and it will be a 20-point victory on this Christmas Day. Not the gift the Cougars fans, such as myself, were looking for, but hey, that is how it goes. Players of the game: point forward number 15 for the Huskies, 26 points with 16 rebounds. Center number 14 had 14 points and 6 rebounds for the Cougars. And what turned into a blowout. Take a quick look at the stats here. We'll just look at the school stats. 20-point victory. The rebounds surprisingly even there toward the end. The assists also fairly even. 3 more for the Huskies. But if we scroll down here, the turnovers are going to be the absolute disaster point for the Cougars. 27 turnovers compared to the Huskies' 17. Huskies also had 10 more field goals on 6 more shots. Field goal percentage of over 50% is never good. 3-point field goals, that's going to lean towards the Cougars. They got off such a good start from beyond the arc. Really surprised that they got away from that as the game went on. But what are you going to do? Sometimes your plans change. I do think that, and I don't remember who exactly got subbed out, but there were a lot of fouls on the Cougars early on, and there was a substitution that I think really had an effect on this game. I don't remember who it was, but the Cougars, I mean, they led, they were on fire, they were playing so well, and that substitution really changed the complexion of the game, because all of a sudden, the Huskies are dominating. They're doing super well. They hadn't really done a whole lot early on in that game. They got off to a good start. It wasn't that they were dismal or anything, but the Cougars kind of had their number. They were running nice plays. They were getting open for threes. But then something changed in the flow of that game, and they were just unable to ever recapture that magic. Free throws, neither team shooting particularly well. Surprised that the Huskies only missed 6, but they must have missed those pretty early on. Cougars with more offensive rebounds. That is a surprising stat. Is there anything second half? Well, I guess that makes more sense. 8 offensive rebounds in the first half. Oof. Field goal percentage of .750 in the second half. .462 in the first half. I mean, that's... Man. Huskies score 105 points and blow out the Cougars by 20. It got close there for a little bit, but the Cougars could not maintain. It wasn't meant to be any sort of jinx or anything, but we do see that a lot in the Mascot Madness tournaments. If you'd like to watch the Mascot Madness tournaments, there are like 16 parts of them. They are each 4 hours long. It's like 64 hours. It's a long, long time. That's actually not true. I think it's 128 hours. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Point is, I appreciate you watching. Yeah, each tournament is 64 games, and each game takes about 30 minutes. The videos are each probably on average close to 4 hours apiece, so 128 hours of content that you can watch. Oh wow, that kicked in a way that I did not want to. You should scroll down, subscribe, ring that bell. That way you're notified when I post new videos. Posting new stuff every single day at 6 a.m. here on the channel. Maybe we'll see how things go. Maybe we try and bring the mascot tournament back. I don't know. I got to figure out which game's the best. Maybe fix some sliders, so it's a little more of a coin flip. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I do appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. Scroll down, subscribe, ring that bell. We'll see you next year for Apple Pie Cup 9 and Apple Pie Cup 10, Thanksgiving and Christmas 2023. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Go Sports.